It's the jacket! Full leather jacket is the name of this episode, and Richie April did not take too kindly to Tony handing off his wee jacket.
It was a nice jacket, but it wasn't that nice, was it? I don't know what Richie April wanted. Did he want to get made top man because he gave Tony Soprano a dead man's jacket?
I think Richie's a very weird character, right? Because, see, to be honest, I have no fucking idea what his intentions were with this jacket, to be honest. Was it to actually give Tony a jacket? Was it to, give him a jacket knowing that Tony would not care about it and therefore he can hold a bit of resentment towards Tony? Or was it for some other cause? What do you actually think it was for? Because it's pretty much the main plot purpose.
I thought he was just trying to get in Tony's good books. Like, here's a jacket, get off my back. That's what I feel like it was.
That's all good, right? But what's a jacket to the top man?
Exactly, he could go out and buy a jacket if he wanted to.
It's a jacket. It's not like he's went, here's a top of the range Aston Martin I've bought you. Or like a $1 million pound watch. I don't get this, right? I do not get this. It'd be like Walter White buying Gus a jacket. Oh, Walter, you've really exceeded yourself this time, my friend. But anyway, we have to start this episode where we begun, with the Sopranos eating a Chinese. So even Tony, I know he has diamonds and he's got millions in the bank probably, but he eats Chinese like ordinary jabronis.
There's two things I didn't like about this scene. First of all, the Chinese just didn't look that appetising. Certainly, I would not have ordered this from a Chinese.
Right.
And second of all, he was using chopsticks. You're Italian, for God's sake.
I know.
You're at home. You don't have to show off in front of anybody. Just get a fork and eat it.
No, remember he buried the fact that we're using chopsticks last season. He's like...
You're not Chinese, you're Italian.
Aye, he was on about that. So, yeah, weird that he would go against that.
But it's like, I can almost understand people that do it when they're out in public. It's like, Christ, I need to look as if I know what I'm doing here, I'm confident.
But even him in public, would he really use it?
No, but it's like when you're at home, you would just use whatever. It's just...
Yeah, unless you're actually, used to eating it with chopsticks, you're not going to use chopsticks.
But
it's a culture thing.
Yeah, but Tony, I know.
Tony thinks he's completely...
Maybe he's 25% Chinese.
Something like that. Christopher then goes to Adriana's mum's house. He raps on the door, right? And then basically this entire scene leads to him getting down on one knee, right? He proposes to her, right? Loads of things wrong with this. I think he basically forces his way into the house. I wouldn't say he doesn't completely assault Adriana's mother, but he's rough with her. Grabbing the phone off her, basically pushing her to one side.
If she wasn't going to phone the police initially, then she at least had cause to do it afterwards.
And you know what, right? Adriana should probably see through Chris, but I think her character's just a dumb bastard. Typical dumb blonde, and she just fucking... cause he got her...
A ring.
That's it.
It's probably stolen.
Yeah, what's your mother says? She says, well, if you come back to this door after getting hurt off him again, it's closed.
Well, even if the ring's not stolen, it's bought with, stolen blood money or whatever, so it's...
Exactly, so either way, it's a corrupt ring. It's no nice ring. Christopher's handed in a few jobs with Matthew and Sean, these two jabronis who just are kiss asses to Tony. And I believe it is actually Sean, twice, when they're breaking into these safes, is just shitting in the corner of a room.
Yeah, what is this fucking freak's problem with doing shits?
I know they're Big Sal, he got nervous when he was used to burgle back in the day, and he used to take massive shits. Right, I'm all for people getting nervous, right, and going to the toilet, but actually shitting in the corner of the fucking room.
Yeah.
In sight of these two guys.
Then he's using fucking socks to wipe his ass. It was just disgusting,
Yeah.
Plus he has leaving DNA behind.
Yeah, but even that, what the fuck's going on here?
Just a freak.
This is realistic. I bet you all the fanboys are saying this is realistic.
This guy deserves to die by the end of this episode.
I just can't imagine, right, another TV show where they're doing this, big job. I'm not saying it's a massive job, right? We did a massive job, but what's going on? Imagine the Breaking Bad, right, train heist, and Walter's fucking squat down taking a shite.
It just wouldn't work. What?
I mean... I do not fucking get this in the slightest, one bit. Honestly, I don't, they're breaking Clay out of prison in Sons of Anarchy. Instead of one of them fucking driving one of the ice cream trucks, one of them's taking a fucking dump in the back.
Yeah,
I thought this was just stupid, all these scenes. You do get a couple of funny scenes with, Matt and Sean when, they hype each other, let's go speak to Tony. And they just talk too much, right? Tony's taking a piss, so Sean, he goes and washes his hand. Matthew basically starts speaking to Tony about Christopher You can clearly see that Tony just resents these two, hates them. And then Sean walks over to Tony. He's like, "Oh, we did a great thing, T, with that job with Christopher." And then he's like talking about percentages and like proper details. And then Tony just fucking grabs him like, "Ever heard of a wiretap, you shit-eating twat?" Which I thought was a pretty funny line. But like, yeah, how stupid are these two?
Yeah, I mean, these guys, they're never going to be made men.
Never. Couldn't make a bed.
Two fucking lackeys. Or Christopher's lackeys, they're not even Tony's lackeys.
And Christopher's not even a made guy. It's not like they're lackeys or like Richie or like of junior people who've actually got a bit of a role in this. They're nothing, essentially. And even the scene, right, where Furio and some other Italian guy like shows up and basically demands the money that they owe Tony, his percent. Like, they're just like two bums. They're sitting there getting high in their fucking underwear, and like Furio makes a joke that they're both gay, and like, do you know, like, that's the exact vibes you get?
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, two guys sitting in their fucking very
gay to me, like.
Very gay to me, and Furio's the man. I like Furio in this episode. Tony, though, what else does Tony do in this episode? He has like a meet with like Richie, Uncle Junior, and Big Fat Bobby, and this is when Richie gives Tony the jacket. It's the jacket.
The jacket.
This is the one I killed him. The Demio. I killed him, Tony. The jacket never fit me, Tony. It might fit you. And then after a bit of persuasion, Tony like finally puts the jacket
Fine,
on.
I'll fucking try on the jacket.
Yeah, and you know, also you've got the whole beef with Richie this episode where Paulie and Silvio, again, like these two are supposed to be like the top guys now, just behind Tony, and they go to Richie like big shitebags. You're going to have to build Beans of your ramp.
Yeah, why are they not just demanding?
Yeah, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'll build a ramp right up to your fucking ass and drive a lino right up it." It's like, what?
Richie is funny, like, but it's like, I just don't know how you're supposed to take these people seriously when like they're taking this sort of disrespect.
Yeah. No, literally. And it's not like they're the age of Chris, right? They're like very similar age to Richie.
Yeah, so it's not like you can
They've been
argue.
there, done that.
It's not like you can argue.
And there's two of them.
Yeah, it's not like you can argue on maybe like intimidation or something, or I don't know. No, not for me. Like,
to me, Tony is the only guy in his entire crew that's actually capable of like getting through to Richie.
Yeah, I feel like when Tony speaks,
and it's got nothing to do
listens.
with, and it's got nothing to do with title or level. It's just what happens. And again, if we want to talk about Soprano inconsistencies, last episode we end the episode with Big Sal greeting in the toilet. Where was he this episode? Just another continuity error. Where is he?
Yeah, because like I said in the last episode, I actually felt sorry for Big Sal.
And now it's like
but now you don't even see him.
Forget he exists.
Yeah, it's like I just don't. I think the flow. I don't think it's a bad show, but it absolutely baffles my mind that people can say this is the best show ever made.
Yeah,
that fucking I do not get that.
No, I get the argument.
I can see people. I can see parts of it when people go, "Oh, you know, it was groundbreaking or it was like ahead of its time." I can definitely see that, but it's a consistency thing. Like,
it's got far too many bumps to iron it, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's too many. There's too many flaws for me. Like
I get it, right? See stuff. It's firstly, it's kind that it's not going to be the polished article. But see, by the time this show ends in like 2007, 8, shows are coming out. Shows have happened. So that, and to be honest, I don't think the show changes that much within the next couple of years. Personally. We then see Matt and Sean. They show up at Richie's place. Richie doesn't even acknowledge them. He actually just faces the wall the entire time, basically saying, "I'm better than you two guys." They're undoing Christopher. He says that how funny is it that Christopher is the only guy who can smoke outside because his nose is a natural canopy, which I thought was fucking brilliant. Obviously, because Christopher's got a massive fucking beak on him.
Massive trout.
He does, so his nose is fucking gigantic. But again, bury him. But then they're like, "Oh, we're not burying Chris. He's all right." And then these two leave. Right, may as well get to the really shit bits of this episode. I'm not saying the rest of it was great. But essentially, right, Meadow is trying to get into college. She wants Berkeley. But
Carmela is not happy with Berkeley. She wants...
I can't even remember what the other one's called.
Some other place that's better than Berkeley, apparently.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what it's called. Can't actually remember.
Doesn't matter. It's not really
Georgetown University. That's what it's for, right?
University,
so basically, she wants to acknowledge her neighbour for the only to get something here, and it's so fucking obvious. Her neighbour's like, "I'll speak to my sister." So her neighbour speaks to her sister, and I don't understand, right, why her neighbour feels so pressured. about this? Because, like, realistically, right? I know, Tony's like top man, but what was he gonna do?
Yeah, I highly doubt he's going to take it too bad. Like, I mean,
And then, like,
plus I kind of think Tony would probably want Meadow to like earn her way in more than anything.
yeah,
I don't think he'd want you to be sneaking in through the back door.
no, yeah, exactly here. And then Carmela actually goes down to Joanne's office herself and just like practically fucking demands it. And Joanne, who was acting the big one, their sister,
Because we see earlier where he's like, it might have been in the last episode when AJ wants to say he wants to go to Harvard, and it's like, well, you need to fucking start reading your books and
only way you're going to Harvard, so you see it on TV.
Yeah, it's like Tony could have went there. Yeah, don't worry, I'll make sure you get into Harvard. I'll pull strings, but you know it's not the case. He was like, you need to knuckle down. You actually need to fucking learn and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, yeah, Tony wants probably Meadow to go to a good school or whatever. I'm not denying that, but I can't imagine Tony's going to hold these people at gunpoint and be like, here, you get my daughter in or you're dead. Like, it doesn't really strike me as Tony Soprano.
Exactly.
I mean, he's a lot of things, but I don't think he would like threaten to kill someone over that.
No, probably. But do you not feel that her sister here talked the big game and then Carmela showed up and she just fucking... I know, she kind of stayed tough for a bit and then was like, oh no, I'll do it. No, yeah. I guess there is an element here. Is she actually going to do it? And she's
yeah,
just
I thought she wasn't going to do it, but then when her sister turns up and tells her it's done, I was shocked.
But then she did...
I didn't see the point. There was not one point where Carmela was like, do you know who my husband is or anything like that?
Yeah, I know. I guess there were. But then again, she didn't have a copy. And her sister was acting a wee bit weird.
Well, see, that is the only thing. Now, is she lying? Did she not do it?
But let's be real, right? Is she lying? Did she not do it? This is a show about the fucking mob. Who gives a fuck about this college application?
Very true.
Honestly, like I don't get what's actually going on here. Richie then shows up at Tony's house, and then like the maid brings her husband to collect the TV. And what's he wearing?
The jacket.
The jacket. And this breaks Richie's heart.
Yeah, Richie's not happy. Richie.
He almost breaks down like Big Sal last episode. He just storms out. He throws the head, and he goes back to his hideout. Then we see like Matt and Sean discussing that they're basically two jobbers. They've got degrees in like the Wall Street broker stuff, all that good stuff. Best of gear. Like, what are we doing here? We're wasting our time. And what did see when they were talking here? Did you think what were they going to do next?
No, I actually thought they were thinking about getting out of this game.
Yep.
And doing something legit.
And no, that I don't get, right? Why did they kill the guy that was actually... I'm not saying Christopher treated
Well, was there a Sylvia, not Sylvia, what's this guy? What's the Italian guy called? Furio?
I've already mentioned this.
Did you?
I mentioned that about 10 minutes ago.
Sorry.
He went to the hush show, we said they look gay.
Oh, so we did.
Right, anyway, right. Christopher walks out.
Yeah, they pull up on Christopher.
He walks out. I don't even know where he walks out of. I think it's the strip club. He walks out. And he's like, oh, how you doing? And then he's like, how you do? He's just fucking... So Christopher gets shot in the stomach, and then when he goes to raise his gun, he gets shot in the arm. But then when he falls, the other Sean can't get the seatbelt off, which just sums these guys up. And then Christopher gets...
How phony is that, though? You can't get the seatbelt off.
And Christopher
Why
shoots
not drive away?
No, literally.
You
Christopher...
can't get the seatbelt off. Christopher shoots him, and he manages to get a headshot.
Yeah, I know.
The guy's literally been shot twice. He's lying on his back. You never get the sense that he's a sharpshooter anyway.
Yeah.
You know, his first kill was basically point blank range, but now all of a sudden he turns into this great marksman. He snipes this guy from lying on his back, kills him, and then the other dude runs away.
No, so I don't get Matt here, right? Christopher is done. He is lying on the ground here.
He could finish it.
Exactly.
And then no one would know.
Oh my, exactly.
He finishes Chris. And he's the only witness left.
Exactly.
But he decides to leave Chris, and Chris is more or less passes out.
Yeah, no, this show is like ridiculous shootouts.
The one with Tony and Orange Juice is bad, like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, this one, no, I can't get the seatbelt off.
Like, why did it... I just think the goofy stuff ruins this show.
No, it really does. Like, I think sometimes TV shows and movies, like, the shootouts are, like, overkill. But I think in this, it's underkill. Like, how can you be so fucking bad at shooting? Like, so how can all these shots be off, but Christopher, like, he shoots, like, one bullet. The first bullet he shoots is a fucking clean headshot.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And also, right, the pacing's off, because just before this, you've got Tony talking to the psychiatrist, right? And literally the next fucking scene, Christopher walks out. This happens, right? This happens within about, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Then the next scene, Christopher's lying in the hospital, and Tony's like, how could this happen? And the episode fades to black. We also did have Matt going to Richie, and Richie's like, what the fuck did you do? And he chases him for a bit and throws the baseball bat, which I thought was funny. But,
it's like, when did Richie tell him he wanted Chris dead?
You know, he never. It's just these two taking the initiative, but he never said that. And again, like, at least you could argue the plot is advanced to a point of, well, fuck, is Richie going to get the blame of this? But again,
but who knows that those guys work for Richie? They don't even work for him.
I know they don't even work. They
met him once.
Exactly. He didn't even look at them. He doesn't even know what they look like.
Exactly. He doesn't know who the dead guy looks like yet. They think this guy didn't even acknowledge him, didn't even look at them, and they got from that, we're gonna go and kill Chris for you.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Again, like I was going to say earlier, and then we kind of got sidetracked, but like they actually shot the guy who was like good to them.
Yeah, Chris. Yeah.
The guy who was like under their wing the whole time.
No, I thought maybe the reason why they would do this is because they were pissed off that Furio took more money off them. Was it like they thought it'd be $750 and he took an extra $250?
Aye.
But like, wouldn't you go and say to Chris about it first? Like, yo, do you know this guy came? Their first thought is, no, let's go kill Chris.
Yeah, like, say they kill.
Why don't you confront him first and go, here, Chris, you said it would be 10%, and he took more off us.
Say they kill Chris, right? And, like, what's the end game and they both survive?
How does that make them money?
I know.
What's that do for them?
I don't get this play here.
Maybe they thought Richie Aprile would give them some sort of promotion for killing Chris. Even though I don't know how they possibly come to that conclusion. But they seemed to think they were doing a good thing for him at the time.
No, what happens, right, is see if they kill Chris and they go to he kills him. The simple reason is, why would he keep these two guys alive who you just cannot trust, and plus, Richie and Tony aren't on good terms, right? But
well, why has he kept the other
they
one
were actually
alive?
on decent terms until the jacket.
Well, why did he keep the other one alive? You could argue if he caught him, he would have kept him alive.
Well, that's my point.
He gave up though pretty easily, didn't he? Like, I mean, well, it's a lot easier to kill someone if you're chasing them with a gun rather than a bat, but...
Exactly, but yeah, that is where the episode ends. You know, I mean, a decent enough ending to the episode, but literally the whole plot of this episode is a jacket and two guys trying to up their stakes. But to me, I remember watching this the first time, and this shootout just catches you completely off guard. Like, did you think these two guys were going to shoot Chris? He's the last person I thought they would shoot.
No. And if something's going to happen for them to turn their back on Chris, surely that's a couple of episodes build up.
Yeah, literally.
Not a very next fucking scene out of nowhere.
To me, the two people they probably should shoot is Furio, the guy who was with Furio, or Tony, because I felt like Tony just completely different. And he's also, yeah.
Oh, but let's be real, like that's a sign you're on death warrant shooting fucking Tony.
I know, but shooting Chris is also a death warrant.
True, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, there's no point trying to figure something out from it because
anyway,
we're not going to get anywhere.
And yeah, we have to rate this episode out of 10. I'm going to give
it a 6. I mean, I thought it was entertaining, but I mean, from if you're being constructive, like, I mean, it's all over the place. It doesn't make any sense that they would try and kill Chris. But it was a pretty entertaining episode. You know what? I think the last couple of episodes have improved a little bit. After a slow start to season 2, I think things are beginning to get a little bit better. Wouldn't say it's great by any means, but you know what? 6 out of 10 for me. Exactly.
But anyway, guys, I'm going to a 6 too. Yeah. Will the second half be better? I mean, based off this episode, will there be retaliation? Is Richie going to be in deep shit? Who knows? Will the jacket be given back to somebody who will want it?
I'll tell you what, it's a bit shit, man, if Richie gets any blowback from this, because he didn't do anything.
Exactly. And will Beansy ever get that ramp built?
Oh, I don't know. Well, Silvio and Polly want it built, so I guess we'll have to see what happens.
Until then, though, peace.